All right, thank you so much, Matt. Jason is doing his second speech. So we want to be encouraging and make sure that we're welcoming Jason. He works as a freelance producer, and he is going to go over the 5 points of the sale. Join me in welcoming Jason.
Erase this real quick. Sorry. Okay. I don't know if the time will start yet, but actually I'll
You're good.
So, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests, tonight I'm going to be talking about the 5 points of the sale. I'll get into that in just a minute. Who here works in sales? You work in sales? Do you often find that it's hard to indicate someone's interest, to tell if they're interested in what you are providing for them?
No, not me.
Not you. Well, if you do cold sales, but it works for all sales, we're going to go over the 5 points of the sale tonight, which is story buyer, control, music, stand-up, and money. So first we'll start with the story buyer. I work in film sales. I've been doing that for about a year now. So I will use that as an example, but once again, it applies to really all types of sales. And since I do most of my stuff on the phone, I will call someone, and they'll pick up the phone, and I'll say, "Hi, this is Jason with so-and-so production company. I just wanted to call and see if you're interested in better than average returns this year." And if they click and hang up, I move to the next one. But if they say, "Yeah, well, what are you selling?" I tell them, "Do you watch movies?" I start to ask. You have to ask them questions. And if they do watch movies, I'll say to them, "Well, what's the last movie that you watched?" And then they'll tell me, and I might give them a little bit of background information. If they just watch The Revenant, we usually have my computer in front of me, and I'll say, "Well, The Revenant did $40 million opening weekend. Do you want a piece of that?" And if they say, "Yeah, I'd love to have a piece of that," well, here is what I have to do. I have to qualify you and see if this is something that is worth both of our time. So I have the story. They want to make money. I'm providing. That's something I can provide to them. An opportunity to be on the other side of the ticket. If you're selling a website, this is the opportunity for you to have a better website than the one that's not working for you, and the one that's not working for you now. So now we have our story buyer, but the second thing we want to do is establish control, and with control, that comes a part of it. Are they answering your questions? If you're giving them a series of questions, and once again it goes to if they're answering everything that you say. If I ask them, "Are you an accredited investor?" and they say yes. "Do you have a net worth of over $1 million or over $1 million?" If all of your assets combined, if they equal to $1 million or more, could this be something that you would be interested in? Well, maybe might have jumped the gun there, but we have to establish that. So control is if they're doing what you want them to do. You said Jeff, you're in sales, and what do you sell first off?
Sound stages.
Sound stages. Well, if they're, I guess I'm trying to think how that would work.
It's very clear to me if they're not interested.
If they're not interested, exactly.
Who wants a sound stage?
We don't need to go on and I can ask all of you what you do for that, but then so that is your story. That's your control, and the next point would be music. Do they like you? Do they like what you're saying? Do they like the cadence of your voice? Are you dull? Are you not? There cannot be any headitude in your sales pitch to them, or else they will hang up the phone and click. Or if you're talking to them in person, they will stare at your chin and just look right past you. And you, well, I don't know. I've never been a car salesman. I wouldn't want to. I don't know if I could do that. Wouldn't be me. So, do you have music? Do they like what you're offering? Because that's really what's going to keep them, and what's going to keep them on the phone to hear what you have to say. after you have your story, buyer, control, music stand up. Here's where they're interested. They want the project, your product. But are they putting you on? You don't know yet. Are they just trying to hear your whole pitch? Are you wasting your time on them? Is this just, are you going to get a package out to them in the mail after this, and they're just going to sit there and they're never going to take your call? Because really what this speech is, and maybe I didn't establish that in the beginning, this is just to see if this is someone that you can sell to. This is not a closing technique. It can be incorporated into closing, but it's just to see if this person is legitimate and if they're real and if they can do it. Now, it's green, so we're going to crank it up a little bit. So you have your story, buyer, control, music stand up. If I say to them, do you make your own financial decisions? And they say yes. And I say to them, well, doesn't your wife take a part in that? And they go, yes, she does. Then he's full of it. He just said he made his own financial decisions, and he doesn't. His wife takes a part of it. He says that, well, sometimes I run it by my friends, and I use a financial advisor. And so that means their stand-up is a little off. You can't fully measure it. And last but not least, money. How much do you have liquid? What can you do? Can you throw down $100,000 for this type of investment? Whatever you're selling, can you actually do what I'm providing you? This mainly works for investments, by the way. Okay. Maybe I should establish that. And if they can, how soon? Well, how soon could you do it, Bob? Do you like this? If I this opportunity, could create a little bit of urgency. This opportunity is not going to be around forever. We only have 15 units available, and you're number 14. Whether you like it, then now is the time. If not, then maybe it's not for you. The takeaway. That's just an added bonus. You always want to take it away. So once again, that's story buyer. Do they like what you're offering? Does it make sense? Is it something that you're interested in? Because this is all to establish interest. Control. Are they doing what you're asking? Are they answering all of your questions and giving you all the answers? And then music. Do they like you? Stand up. Are they full of it? Or are they stroke? And last but not least, are they liquid and can they actually do your investment, which is money? Thank you, fellow Toastmasters.